Welcome to another series of Hidden Treasures where we're getting to know more of our church members, particularly the focus in October for Black History Month. I'm pleased to say that with me, I have Bev Willis with me. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Pastor Matt. How are you? Thanks
Um,
for having me. Yes.
no problem. I'm good, thank you. And it's good that you're with us. So, for those who are watching, Bev, um, tell us a bit about you, about your story.
Okay. A bit about me. That right, a bit. Um, so I'm Beverly Willis. I was born in Jamaica of mixed heritage, basically. I came here in the 60s. So although I'm not a part of the Windrush generation, I was sort of here at the same time.
Mm.
To tell you a bit about me would take you forever, but I'll just fit you in a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So I've been a Christian or trying to be a Christian since I was about 14, 15 years of age. And although there are times I've not followed the path in a straight direction, but I always know that Jesus is got my hand and got my back, basically. As I said, I thank you for having me in this Black History Month because there is so much to think about when we think about Black history.
Mm.
We think about past and present heroes and sheroes, those who were here before us and who made a pathway for us to try and travel in. And before I go on, I just want to say thank you for having the church in the way you've had it. I was very inspired. I wasn't able to come to church on Sunday, but I was very inspired by Reverend Charity message.
Mm. Mm.
So thanks very much for that. And that just shows how the church involved, how the diversity and inclusion at Muswell Hill Methodist Church is very prominent.
Mm.
Okay, so go back to me. I've done a few things in my 50 odd years of being in this country, a few things. Um, in 2000, I was awarded a community champion award by, as I was saying before, by the Scarman Trust,
Mm.
which I treasure very much because I don't think I've done anything um, more than what you would do, what the church would do. Another thing I am very happy about Muswell Hill Methodist Church is the inclusion of the justice seeking church
Mm.
that you involve, that we involve everyone, from immigrants, people of other faith, people of other languages. It's very heartening to know.
Mm.
Um, Coming back to the award from the Scarman Trust, it was given to me because of my community involvement during that time. There was in the council that they had a REMJCC, which stand for Race Equality Joint Consultative Committee, where you go in and you speak about, what you could do for the betterment of race relationship, basically. I have had some jobs. I've worn many caps. You can see the pink one right now.
Yeah, it's a
That's the
lovely
only
one.
one I'm wearing at the moment. Yes, yes. I have worked in Muswell Hill in a mother and baby home, which I was, I'm always happy with the jobs that I get employed in.
Mm.
I was first trained as a nurse, a state enrolled nurse, and I carried on from there. So working with young mothers and babies was really, an eye opener for me because I call them hobbies. I call them hobbies because they're so what I think. But being an activist on women's rights and people rights, again, gave me a good platform that I was happy to be in. My last job was with people, young people with a learning disability. I ran a home, and that was my last job, but it was also fulfilling for me because there is these young people coming of age with autism and other disability, and they're older now and the parents are getting older, so it's sometimes they have to leave home, and so we needed to provide a home from home for
Mm.
people, for these young people, and I was very privileged to do that. So for the past 20 odd years now, I have had my mobility problem, other disability problem. But God give us these things for trial you know, to make you who you are, or to let you feel the pain, to stand up a bit more. So that's a little bit about me. Yes.
That's an amazing story, Bev. And when you were speaking, I was just listening. I could listen to you all day. Which is, I mean that because you've got uh, your story and the award that you've got was just shows that you are a people's person.
I would like to think so.
Yeah.
It touches your heart from whatever background. And again, being a young immigrant person, I have had lots of well wishes of well meaningful people that helped me to walk the road that I walk. Yeah.
That's really wonderful to hear. And when you say about being an activist as well and standing up for people, which is what justice seeking is all about, isn't it? It's
Mm-hmm.
about living out your faith.
Yeah.
Action, isn't it? Action speaks louder than words.
And trying to walk alongside people, who probably would find it difficult,
Mm.
especially in terms of language. I wouldn't say I have the best of language, but I probably have better than some people who have no English language, so to speak of, and need help in asking for what they need, or showing the way, pointing the way to what they need. And yes, I probably sometimes clash with government intervention, yes, but it was all, good from the heart. Yes, yeah.
Sometimes you need to clash with any government. I mean, it's amazing how many people say to me, "Oh, you shouldn't put politics in." And I think there's a difference about standing up for a particular party in a service to actually being political. And political, for me, is about where there's injustice. And hey, the Bible is the most political book.
Political, yes, yes.
So it's part. It should be what we're about. There's a difference between party politics to
Mm,
actually standing up and wanting to be justice seeking.
yes. Um, yes, as I went back to speak about past and present people that we have fighting for us, um, talking about people like Diane Abbott,
Mm.
who was the first Black woman MP is trying to see this person in yourself. I mean, she did this, and she did this so that people might be able to follow. Pleased to say, again, it was not always an easy road,
No.
but now she's mother of the house, which
Yeah.
does say something.
Yeah.
Um, yes, in Black History Month, we think about people like Dr. Martin Luther King,
Mm.
who walked the road of civil rights,
Mm.
so that we could see something. We
Mm.
could see someone who gave his life practically for this. Um, I see that you've recommended some books, and I'm very glad that you
Yeah.
did recommend it in the Wellspring Live.
Yeah.
Um, there is a book that I read about the three mothers,
Mm.
basically, and the three mothers speaking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and I forget the name of the others. But sometimes we forget the mothers of these people who we recognize. There might be celebrity,
Mm.
but they came from a far distance sometime. Yes, I told you I could talk forever, but I shan't.
No,
I'll
no.
let you. Yes.
I mean, I've interviewed people who could talk a lot more, so don't worry.
Mhm.
I yeah, I with those books as well. People might think, oh, we're doing Black History Month. It's another idea, but as a minister, for me, it's about putting it into practice. So
Mhm.
I read
Yes.
those books last year so that I can pass that on to my congregation and say, look,
Yes.
I've done it. I've not just come up with an idea.
No.
And we need to talk about this.
Yes.
And so why do you think, Bev, it's important that as Muswell Hill Methodist Church that we talk about um, Black History Month and have these awareness months like we have um, Refugee Month? Why
Mhm.
why do we have those months?
Yes. Well, I think they are important to remind us that, of these people who did did so much to make Britain and some of the other countries who they are, because they say it takes a village to
Mm.
grow a child,
Mm.
and it takes all of us basically to give in a hand to make, well, to make Britain what it is,
Mm.
basically, and to make, say, Black History Month, it brings awareness to some people, even young people who wouldn't know the meaning of Black History Month, or some of the people who who we talk about.
Mm.
So to bring awareness to people, to all of us, the Holocaust, the Refugee Month, the Black History Month, I think it's very important for us to remember.
Mm.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I also feel as well it's about getting to know people, isn't it? And not always sitting with as a congregation
Mm.
as different sections, but actually coming and sitting as one body
Yes.
together,
Yeah.
and learning from others. And I think it's important, isn't it, in our worship that
Mhm.
if passages from the front want to be read in their in another language, in their mother tongue,
Yes.
I think that's also important.
Yes. Yes. And so Muswell Hill Methodist Church, I am so happy and pleased with you, because, and the congregation, because it does what it says on the tin. I think I said that last time.
You
You're not
did,
just
yeah.
saying it, you live in it. When you come inside the church, you can feel the warmth of the
Mm.
congregation, basically. And that's what I'm happy with and for. Yes.
And in inclusion, I mean, like I say, we've got big decisions to make in the future. And inclusion means inclusion, doesn't it? And
Yes.
inclusion also means, well, it's not one thing. There's a difference about with inclusion and awareness. Awareness brings this the
Mhm.
awareness, the importance of Black history, to learn not just from the past, but to give thanks for
Yes.
what we have currently. And it's the same with any other awareness, but inclusion also is more the fact that we welcome all people,
Mhm.
even those who we may struggle with, and
Yes.
those who where maybe we hold a different view of.
Exactly.
So I think that's what inclusion isn't just about. Oh well, we've all
Yeah.
got to agree and we've got
Who
to
we
accept.
like and who
Yeah,
we, yes,
yeah. It's about, well, let's. I wrestle with this.
yes,
Wrestle
yeah,
with it together.
yeah. I think that's something that grabs me. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
yeah, absolutely wow. And I wonder, Bev, as we go forward,
Yes.
as a church, and as we have these awareness months, what would you like to see at Muswell Hill Methodist Church?
What would I like to see?
Mhm.
Something I could almost struggle with that. I think I would have to go nitpicking because I'm sorry. I'd have to go nitpicking because
Yeah.
you are the church
Mm,
are doing what I think God wants us to do, which is like you say, walk alongside our brothers and sisters. Um, if you see someone struggling, which I know the church does, if you see someone struggling, is to walk alongside them and find out how can you help or something like that. But the congregation is doing that. I see that in action, basically. And yes, there's hardly anything that I mean, there's always more, but I'm happy with Muswell Hill Methodist Church at the moment.
I
Yes,
like it. You say at the moment. I think that's really good because there's
you
always
never know
somebody.
what
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
coming up. But like I said, I'd have to be very nitpicking to
Yeah.
say, whatever. I'm glad for the communion that we have in church. I'm
Mm,
glad for the inclusiveness that we
mm,
have. I'm glad for the justice seeking thing, the projects for the young people, for the children.
mm.
It's all good. It's all good.
That's wonderful, Bev. And as Bev said about the sermon by Reverend Charity, that
Yeah.
can be found online on our YouTube channel. Please
Yes,
have a listen
yes,
to that. It's worth a
yes.
listen. It's a brilliant sermon, isn't it?
And I wanted to share that, but I don't think I wanted to share that on the Facebook, but I don't think I found the link. So I'll have to go back and search again. Yeah,
Yeah, we usually on every Sunday we put on every Sunday afternoon a link to the service
yes,
for those who missed it. So you'll find it on there.
yes.
But Bev, it's been great to get to know you more.
Oh,
You are our hidden treasure, and I hope other people who watch this will get to know more about you. And we will do more of these interviews. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for this interview. Thank
thank
you.
you for having me. And in this month, it's very special. Look after yourself and your dear wife, and thank you.
Thank you, Bev. Take care.